Today we're eating good as we get back to the clan war. It is currently 4-2 in favor of XMT. Should have mentioned up front, there's 11 total games. Yeah, best of 11. So, first clan to get to 6 wins will win the clan war, and currently XMT, like I said, up 4-2, so they just need 2 more wins to clinch the clan war. But let's see here, as we've got Goji, good old Gojira, running in with his signature Greenskins up against the Dark Elves. Marathi leading the way for foul forces of the Dark Elves. Some Doomfire Warlocks as well. Dark Riders with shields. Cold One Knights. So very mobile, kind of skirmish-centric hit-and-run build. We've even got a nice Ravens, Heralds, Regiment of Renown, Dark Riders flying in the air. Some Crows of Cain. There's a Bloodrack Medusa. Siren of the Red Ruin, even. A Regiment of Renown there. For the Orcs and the Goblins, got some Boar Biggins, Savage Boar Biggins there, mixed on each flank. Death's Creepers, Spider Rider Archers to do some skirmishing. Got some Night Goblins with Fanatics, Orc Boys in the front. Ruglets armored for a little bit of ranged support. And just Doom Bolts galore raining down on the giant River Troll Hag. Some bound Doom Bolts successively from the Doomfire Warlocks, using some charges there. And of course, Marathi also has Doom Bolt, which was recently nerfed, but or through Wand of Caradron. I actually don't know if Wand of Caradron specifically was nerfed as well. I'd have to go back and check, but Melkoth Mystifying Miasma on the Death's Creepers. They do have regeneration, so as long as they're not dropping unit models here, it won't be too big of an issue. They're going to try and screen through the spears as good old Grom runs in the front line. Grom the Paunch popping some nice buffs. Helping to support here. We do see, though, the bound Soul Blight pop off from the Doomfire Warlocks as they kind of retreat a little bit here. Goji's going to have to play pretty patient, nice and tight here as he faces off against this mobile skirmish squad. The CB player on the other side needs to, also be patient and just really pick and choose good engagements only. Try and even out the ranged fight if at all possible so that these Ravens Heralds can come in and feast. There's not any specific super high value targets. Savage Boar Biggins are going to be the most expensive thing you could shoot, which, would definitely be pretty valuable. They're, 1,100 points value, so the physical resistance plus a little bit of armor, though, will resist some damage. Obviously, Ravens Herald's primarily armor-piercing, but still base missile damage nonetheless. The physical resistance helps more than anything, honestly, against the armor-piercing damage, so should be interesting there. We see some Spirit Leeches on Marathi. She does have some spell resistance up on, I think, just regardless, to be honest, of the mount, but she is going to be resisting some of that damage from Spirit Leech. Nonetheless, does heal back some from the Soul Sealer as well, so pretty patient skirmish game so far. Bloodrack is taking some shots, hitting some Orc Boys, can get some pretty good penetration on those infantry units, hitting multiple models, and just taking them down slowly over time, but yeah, balance of power really not liking Goji right now from the outset, as it's seeming to favor, for the time being at least, this very mobile skirmish build. But I can tell you right now, it's going to be tricky to execute something like this. Goji's got a lot of meat on that bone right now, currently getting chewed on. And yeah, I mean, the Dark Elves being very patient here, might be able to snipe the River Troll Hag, but at least she does have some regeneration to try and resist, or at least come back when she's taking the damage. And those successive Doom Bolts are really putting in some work, but Dark Elves do get caught in an engagement here. Goji able to very quickly reinforce, get the Orc Boar Boy Biggins. Love the bright red color scheme. Really very cool. Getting hyped for 40k Total War, honestly. Should be some good red Orcs in that as well. And yeah, we've got the Doomfire Warlocks also moving into support. So Dark Elves not necessarily getting crushed here, but value trade-wise, especially with these Orc Boys, high weapon strength, decent enough melee attack. They can make contact with those Doomfire Warlocks pretty consistently and just deal very cost-effective damage to that low armor. Physical resistance does help a decent amount as well, but still not exactly a super tanky unit. So yeah, Dark Elves kind of losing out on the HP battle a little bit in that engagement. Over here as well, looks like the Cold One Knights were not able to sustain. The supporting Goblins, a little bit of anti-large on those Savage Boar Biggins, just too meaty for the Cold One Knights. That being said, Giant River Troll Hag has been routed. Let's see if Dark Elves are able to capitalize and finish her off, or if she's going to get some regeneration. Maybe come back, cast a spell or two. But, oh, Snagla mixed in here as well. Nice to see. Might come in handy in the late game. We'll see. He needs to assassinate some characters. But Wah popped here. He does have quite a bit of units in contact, able to pretty much break these Dark Riders here. Yeah, some random models of cavalry kind of spread around for the Dark Elves. They're all going to get punished pretty hard. This Doomfire Warlock as well just takes massive damage from very cost-effective goblins and Savage Boar Biggins. And yeah, we've got more Savage Boar Biggins engaging over here. Murderous Prowess now kicking in. A lot of people have said the Murderous Prowess should be activatable, and, you know, I'm not sure 100% if I agree, but it would be interesting at least to play around with it and see how much of a difference it makes. It is a pretty big power spike. Lasts longer than Wah does, but of course Wah can be used multiple times. And we're going to see more Balanced Soul Blights being used. Does help the Doomfire Warlocks just take less damage overall, of course. But Goji's got so much healthy infantry. And, I don't know, there's no, like, chariots or anything in this build. I honestly think a build like this, like, I gotta see what he was going for here, but it might have been well served with a couple of Scourge Runner chariots. Run a little bit of anti-infantry damage, and could have been picking away as well with their own anti-large shooting. Trying to pick the models off these boars, but Dark Elves certainly not out of this by any means. They've still got plenty of balanced power left. The Raven's Heralds have really not got super involved yet, so gonna have to see where they start to spend their ammunition. But maybe they're gonna try and move in and snipe a character. Hard to say. But that Savage Boar Biggins getting broken. The Giant River Troll Hag does come back from route, so Koji is able to see that. Could get another, maybe a couple of Spirit Leeches. Even Spirit Leeching into these Doomfire Warlocks just to finish off a few unit models there would be pretty nice. But Raven's Heralds here get netted actually by Snagla. Let's see if there's anything really to follow up. Looks like Rugloods, yeah, getting engaged in melee here. We're not able to really countershoot there at all. Death Screepas, you know, they're here. They're picking away at Marathi a tiny bit. Maybe doing a tiny bit of damage, but yeah, right now the Dark Elves skirmish is in full effect. So we're going to have to rely on the Siren and on the Raven's Heralds to do some good damage to the core of this army. But thankfully for the Greenskins, Grom is quite tanky. He can resist a lot of this. Try and just stay alive. He's very, very tough to snipe for something like this. I don't know. Let's see. The Raven's Herald's going to get a nice clean volley. Yeah, pretty decent amount of damage. But that's with him basically standing still. If Koji can keep him on the move, should be able to take less damage. But yeah, looks like Doomfire Warlock's running in, trying to finish off Ruglood's armor to Orcs. We get Crow's Cane also. And a nice big blob for a Soul Stealer from Marathi. Not a lot of low model count units. The damage scaling isn't going to be 100% efficiency, but even still, we'll just kill a lot of stuff. It's good value, honestly, for a big blob like that, and does catch Grom in particular, which is a pretty good target to be using it on. But yeah, more HP for Morathi, yes. As she heals back up from that Soul Stealer, Grom taking some pretty decent damage from the Raven's Heralds, but that regeneration of his should be able to keep him alive somewhat, and it is Conquest. Gojira has been able to accrue quite a bit of tickets so far, so it might be that he can just win by just standing on the objective here. So let's fast forward a little bit through this late game skirmish. Raven's Heralds are going to come in, Snagla helping to protect Grom somewhat. Yeah, it's doing some really good damage to the Siren there, although Marathi comes down as well with her halberd to try and hunt Grom. He's going to run back to his own infantry and kind of just run in circles a little bit here to waste Marathi's time, honestly, which, you know, going for the objective win perhaps. Snagla is staying relentless, consistently on that Siren of the Red Runes, able to take her out. And the Raven's Heralds are just about out of ammunition, but Grom is just about out of HP, down below 1,000, looking right around 700. See this last volley here, doesn't quite finish him. He does get routed, but if Marathi can get free, she could maybe finish him off, but I'm not actually sure she can path through this thick blob of boys. Their girth is too much for her, it seems, to pull out there, and Yeah, Snagla just solo in a group of Doomfire Warlocks actually isn't doing amazing right now, but should be able to get some damage done over time. Oh, Grom does actually go down, though. Wow, maybe... Yeah, a couple of little stray shots from the Raven's Heralds. Maybe a couple of unit models had ammunition, but with Grom down, that should put a big dent in the leadership of the Green Tide. Let's see. Snagla gets charged. Raven's Heralds. They don't have really much stats. They do have 20 charge bonus. They'll be able to get some hits in while that charge bonus is active, but even still, he was able to pretty much finish off these Doomfire Warlocks, and as long as his leadership holds, I think he'll be just fine in that engagement. Wrathy, meanwhile, is also just suffering by getting circle beaten by Boyz. Gotta love it. For all her beauty and magic, it's just, you know, a bunch of sweaty orcs and goblins with scrap metal in their hands, basically pounding away. Gotta love the Green Tide sometimes. Yeah, Morathi very well and fully surrounded, and it looks like it won't even end up mattering because it will be indeed a ticket victory on the conquest. So, Gojira able to get XMT ever closer to a win on the clan war, and looking like pretty good stuff overall. Yeah, value-wise, was able to trade very efficiently in a lot of circumstances. These low-tier Goblin Spears, 700 value a piece, is fantastic for something that cheap. More than doubling their value back. Night Goblin Fanatics also. I didn't zoom in on the Fanatics casts, but there were some really nice ones from Gojira. And Ruglud's Armored Orcs also managed to get some pretty good value before they got destroyed. Same for the Savage Boar Biggins. Regular Biggins, they did okay. The Regiment of Renown Spider Riders also pretty decent. Boyz, good value there in the late game. And just staying alive, having them meet lots of relatively cheap, you know, high HP units here to just weather the storm of this skirmish build. And ended up working out pretty well. Despite that, Corey Under here played it very well. It's tricky to execute a build like this for sure, but did it with near perfect precision. I think, again, just a little bit of more anti-infantry damage here for the Boyz, and he could have maybe taken that one home, but Golden Riders do a pretty decent job. The Dark Riders as well, the Doomfire Warlocks rather. Yeah, Dark Riders got crushed, but the Doomfire Warlocks all pretty decent value for them. The Raven's Heralds are a nice pick, honestly. Kind of an underutilized tech in Total Warhammer 3, I think. There's not that many factions that they're really good against, but there are some factions that you can definitely get some really, really nice value. Bloodrack Medusa also, Regiment of Renown, able to get some pretty decent damage, 20,000 total damage, more than 20,000 total damage, 1,500 value, pretty good stuff. Yeah, honestly, I would probably just say, even trading out like one of these Doomfire Warlocks, or two of them, for Scourge Chariots, get a little bit of anti-large shooting, and get the anti-infantry ability of the Chariots. I don't know, Boyz are thick enough, they have quite a bit of mass, might have been tough anyway, even still, but fun one for sure. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. Every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.